Monster Hunter has always been an interesting series through its lifespan. Since 2004 and 22 years later, here we are with Monster Hunter Wilds, which that game got PC problems to the point where people be raw dogging their PCs for the whole year until now Capcom has the audacity to fix the performance issues. And you gotta ask yourself, why do I need to suffer on the shader compilations loading screen every time just so I can play the game and dropkick the great Jaggy out of Rolly for rigging my barrel bowling game? Okay, off-topic question, but you get the point. I am not here to explain why I am in debt from that flea rat. I am here because today I'm tasked to go back in time where my 4 hunter fathers before me slapped some nonsense on these old gen rookies. However, I got one tiny problem. The guild in this timeline thinks I am a twink who won't let me use the greatsword until I prove to them I can become a blade master. So, I welcome you to the journey of becoming the greatest hunter of all time and return back to my main weapon.
Look away from our sad inside.
To understand the depths of the world of Monster Hunter 1, we must lay the foundation on how the old ways works. Originally, you don't have the main missions within the game like in the newer titles. They have these things called key quests where you must complete the right quest to unlock the urgent quest, which is what you will need to continue to the next missions within the same star rank. Now, I must admit, I am sort of going through this blindfolded. However, thanks to years I played this series since Monster Hunter Tri, I can do decently well per se. Back then, we were split into 2 different types of modes for single player and co-op mode, which co-op is only for online. Originally, you can't play the co-op anymore since the servers shut down for a very long time. But thanks to a passionate team of old school Monster Hunter fans, you can now play them. However, it does require you to have the Japanese version of Monster Hunter 1. I won't go into full details on how to join the online servers since there's been creators who made videos about it, but I will go and support their Discord server for the hard work they've done to bring this back to life. They are called MH Old School. Other than that, let's go ahead and begin the story. Welcome to hell, welcome to Monster Hunter, a land where there's dinosaurs, gear, storage hoarders, and whatever this thing is. One of many places to be within the old world. There's times I feel like I am in a fever dream when you visit, or it could be a nightmare. Which, speaking of, when I came back to this timeline, I was knocked out and was dragged into a hut. Must have been one good dirt nap because it seems they stole everything off of me because I'm just too OP for their eyes to see. So when I woke up with the rage of fury, I asked, where is my gear at? And I was told, gear is gone. You must become twink. What does that mean I have to become a twink? And how is my gear gone? Thankfully, with the heart they have, they let me have some cash, and I started buying gear that will get me through for the time being.
6.5 hours later.
So, without my gear, I said to them, since my gear is gone, can I use the greatsword to start out with? In return, they said, Dweeks don't use greatswords. Okay, you got 10 seconds before So I started going out on questing. Yeah, they were gonna break my bones if I didn't comply. In order of becoming the greatest greatsword master of all time, I am tasked to go through different challenges. Right now, the only weapon that I am gaining access to is the sword and shield. This weapon is one of the best order weapons with a not bad moveset that can protect yourself in situations at times. With the gayest looking set on and my iron stick and board, I will get through these monsters and gain access to all the weapons. We got 5-star rank missions to go through. Within each ranking, we will discover places that seems new or possibly familiar to those who have went through them together. I welcome you to the hills. This map will be where my training begins to learn the basics, uncover what type of monsters I will be seeing, and many more. Now, I will spare you some details within the tutorial part, like how to collect raw meat and how to cook well done steaks, because most who are well known with the series that the most non-hostile monsters are what you aim at that gives out meat. And after hearing the cooking grill jingle theme complete, to hear the so tasty sound to play. However, what is very different is getting items to make a potion. In the newer games, they made it where potions you can just combine herbs, and in this game it's herbs and blue mushrooms. How to even find them is located this weird looking yellow flower and these mushroom patches. At least I think that's what they are supposed to be. I can't tell what it is. My childhood in 2004 was very creative, using a bucket as a helmet and watching some Blue's Clues. What? Don't judge me! I played Banjo and Kazooie and then had a PS2 until 2005. As I surprisingly remembered on how to make potions, I also made mega potions. Making them goes is combining herbs and honey for the new players who are getting into this game as a tip for preparing yourself in the early game. But be warned, with combining items, you could get trash as well. Now the real challenge begin, and to be fair, I wasn't well aware how you could tell easily, which out of many hardest challenges I've ever done, it is time for fishing. Yeah, that's right, we got fishing before GTA 6, forget Duck Hunt, we got Monster Hunter Fishing as a real manly fishing game. See this perfection of fishing your eyeballs out. Out of 10! Absolute cinema! Call this a true endgame right here! Okay, no, to be honest, Monster Hunter 1's fishing sucks because you can have a hard time figuring out on when the fish will latch on, and personally, I think the only way is how you can tell you can reel them in is when you see the third time hitting your bait. If you have any idea, then comment down below on how the fishing game truly works, because I will not farm for fish in this game at all. So the search of the fish I needed for this quest is no other than sushi fish, and tracking it down was a bit of a task since I hardly did fishing at all, general speaking, except World and Wilds. Right when I find the place I need to be at, this happens. Behold, one of the most annoying Poombas out there, and that is no other than a Bullfango. And I'm sorry, Inosuke fans who wants to hear this thing say, "Fight me" on the top of his lungs, but this pig wants destruction, wants blood, creates PTSD, and many hunters who came across its path, and it has my sight. So, the true challenge after all is this pot-bellied warthog, and if it's a challenge they want, I will give it to them! And so, let the fighting begin! You gotta agree that was peak 2004 gameplay right there. No one can't make this up. So, after that barbarian of a mess right there, I went ahead and got the fish I needed and complete the quest. If you think that was a challenge, wait until you see what other things I had to face that is way worse. Once the tutorial got completed, it was time for the real test to no longer become a twink, and that is hunting my first actual monster known as the Velociprey. Bullfango, you can step aside because you are not the main character. This is real business here. These vicious looking kneecap biters has the audacity to come and terrorize these lands just for shits and giggles. They haven't met me, who is the living nightmare, who the monsters are afraid that comes from the closet. Call me the Philosopher Slayer because I am out here slaying some Velociprey, and a dead Velociprey is a good Velociprey.
Huh?
So, after I gave them the nap of a lifetime, I'm ready to begin the real journey. The excitement, the thrill of what my next hunt will be. And that will be more collecting items. Yeah, the elder thinks I am still a twinkle hunter, so I got stuck doing more collecting for a bit longer. And let me tell you, the mushrooms were a pain to find. I won't joke on this. Let me speed up the video some so you can see how when finding the last mushroom I needed went. I swear this game is the true meaning of tracking items down when it comes to exploring the ecosystem the deeper I go through this game. And you thought mushroom collecting was a challenge? Oh, you are not prepared what comes next. Out of every worst nightmare, this quest has always been a bane of every hunter's existence, known as egg collecting. You new generational hunters got it easy since they took out egg collecting in wilds. I am scared to see how many times I will need to do this the further I go in. However, before I show you how that went down, there was one monster blocking our way and I have to avoid throughout this whole time. Entering Rathalos, the king of the skies. This menace is the flagship monster I will need, which in short term Flagship monsters are like a major threat to the ecosystem until the real threat appears. So, I have to deal with him when that moment comes out. But for right now, I must find a way around him. I will say that passing him went really great. So perfect that you can't tell how stealth-like I am. I felt like Metal Gear when I passed him by. Okay, fine, I got mollywopped. How was I supposed to know that he can see me behind this mountain? I call hacks! I will make sure you are dead one day! I will not forget, Rathalos! You hear me? I will not forget! After my success passing him by, it was time to pick up a wyvern egg. And the way how it works is simple. Don't drop it from getting attacked, falling off a cliff that is very high, or losing your stamina. Because if you do, you will need to go all the way back to the nest you were at before. So, here goes nothing. Oh, and you must take the egg back to the base, so you are pretty defenseless when holding one of these. Quick tip, when doing the egg quest, you must find the right areas to keep yourself safe, because some areas can block you off that you thought you can just get it done easily. And one of the areas, for example, is going from area 5 to area 6. So, we must find another way, which we got is 2 safest spots on the top. We could try going through area 2, but the problem is all the Velocipray in that area will give us a hard time. So I went ahead to one of the areas I tried to see how it is. And well, I was not aware that these black cats were even in the game since the beginning. And they had no remorse when seeing what I had with me. I was bombarded by these flea rat bastards and I just went another way. However, these cats must have cast a spell from one of Rolly's ancestors because this started to happen when I was getting the egg again. To that flying bugs family, you will always be a bane of my existence, even from your future's kids. Will burn and poison mist every time I see you now. I swear, I think this is why I destroy stink bugs every time they invade my room because of insects like you. After that nonsense of the egg quest, I was tasked to look into the problem with the Velocipray infestation because after seeing what was going on in Area 2, I noticed a problem with a good amount of them being there. Something did tell me the leader of the pack wants to get involved is my hunch. And behold, the next quest is no other than their leader, who I have to kill. Velocidrome, the pack leader who controls the Velocipray. This mighty duck lizard will prove to the village that I am no twink. I will not back down for this challenge. Me and this Iron Twink sword and simp board has gone through so much already, and we will show this pack leader who they are messing with. Time to destroy this monster.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Eee.
No, 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 no. Wait, 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 wait. Wait, 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 wait.
The battle was tough, but my will is stronger than what was worth, and so it is time to return back. I had put in my thought on all that I experienced so far. Monster Hunter wasn't something that can go through easily. No, this game wants me to prepare what comes next. I will return to the ways of the Great Sword, mark my words. You may call me a twink. You may not let me gain access to who I am, but this is just the beginning. If you liked the video, then please subscribe. More videos are on the way, so in the meantime, thanks for watching.